Good evening, Bhante and all Kalyanamita Sukhihotu. I'm Aliana and welcome to Sutta Discussion Day 43 by Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima. Tonight we are going to discuss the 18th session of Sigalovada Sutta. Sigalovada Sutta is the fourth sutta from the total of 10 suttas that have been chosen by Bhante Chandima for this sutta discussion. For those who have missed our previous classes, please check on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Padana Clan Facebook page and YouTube channel, where we have uploaded the previous 42 classes there. The Sutta discussion Zoom class is always open, therefore whoever that wish to join the class where we can engage directly with Bhante can contact us on Ti-Ratana Vihara Aman Padana Clan's Facebook Messenger. We are welcoming newcomers. Now please allow me to introduce about our speaker. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima currently is the Senior Advisor at Ti-Ratana Canada, a virtual Dharma organization that helps beginners as well as expert students in learning Dharma in a variety of ways. Many people are interested in Dhamma Pariyesana, Ti-Ratana's most acclaimed interview series, which Bhante conducts on regular basis. You can check on Ti-Ratana with the link www.ti-ratana.blogspot.com. Bhante Dr. Gangodawila Chandima earned his PhD in Buddhist Studies in 2015 from University of Sri Jayawardenepura in Sri Lanka. From 2012 till 2015, Bhante served as Theravada Buddhist chaplain at the University of British Columbia, Vancouver, Canada. And in 2016, Bhante was a research fellow at the Center for Studies in Religion and Society of the University of Victoria, British Columbia, Canada. Now, without further ado, please welcome once again Bhante, and thank you very much for the wonderful talk. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Aliana. I don't know whether I heard that. Was it breaking up? Were you breaking up your voice? Or is it my issue? Probably, I don't know. Yeah. Thank you, Aliana. Good evening, everybody. I think you guys still are celebrating Chinese New Year, right? It's a long ceremony. Yes. Anyways, good to see that. Good to hear. And yeah, so yeah, let's continue our sessions. Others could watch probably later. Some others might join, but our mission is to learn on a weekly basis, so we are not missing out on any the preparation and what you call passion to learn Dhamma should not be missed out on, because if we miss out on it's a little difficult to catch up with that. Okay, so welcome to our Sutta discussion, day 43, and 18th class of the topic Sigalovada Sutta. Welcome, Kim, Aliana, Len, Bella, Sadhidis, and others who might join. And today, as we know, that we left up at the place of I guess husband's responsibilities towards wife. So today we will be discussing wife's responsibilities towards husband. Before that, how was your Chinese New Year? Did it go well? Did you have the, I don't know, series of events, probably the reunion dinner and then the events followed up? Yeah.
A lot of catching up.
Okay. Catching up with others.
Breaking up?
Yeah, something to me. But on your side, it should be okay, right? Nobody heard that.
Can you hear us?
No, I can hear you, but I hear kind of a breaking up.
Breaking up.
Probably. I might do something for that. Let's see. You don't mind. But you can hear me well, right?
Yeah.
Let's go with that. Maybe this will be okay. Okay, so yeah. So let's then get started with the session by respecting the Buddha, by paying homage. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavatu arahatu samma sambuddhassa. And we have Bella, we have Sadhidis. Yeah. Sadhidis, how are you? Keeping well.
Yeah, I'm okay. Very good.
So let's see the Pali section of the responsibilities of a wife towards husband. Start from from here. Okay, so who would like to read? Yeah, Kim, go ahead.
Imahi ko gaha patiputa panchahi tanehi samikena pachima disa bariya pachupatita panchahi tanehi samikam anukampati susamvihi mata chahoti Sangahita parijana ko gahapati puta panchahi tanehi samakina pachima disa bariya pachupatita imahi panchahi tanehi samikam anukampati ivamasa esa pachima disa patichana poti kema api baya.
Okay, I think I need to change my Wi-Fi, probably. I have a
Breaking
problem
up
with
it.
hearing. Yeah, I hear some breaking out. Give me a sec.
You want me to read again or? Bhante? Do I need to read again, Bhante?
Can you hear me?
No.
Yeah,
Do
can you hear me?
I need to read again or what?
No. I heard, it's okay. But you all hear me, right?
Now yes, but earlier on no.
Okay. Yeah. That's the irony of internet. Huh? Okay. Thank you, Kim. Imehi ko gahapati panchahitani samike pachima disa bhariya pachupattita panchahitani samkam anukampati. Susang vihita kammanta cha hoti sangahita parijana cha anaticharini cha sambhatancha anurakhanti dakhacha hoti analasa sabbakicchesu. And the same Vehiko Gahapati Pitta Panchitanehi Samikena Pachima Disa Bariya Pachupatita Imehi Panchitanehi Samikang Anupam Eva Massa Esa Pachima Disa Patichanna Hoti Kema Apatibaya. You can see that when husband and wife fulfill their responsibilities, so then they are creating an oasis, a place where they feel fearless. They are not creating fear, right? Who would like to read the English one? Should be here, I guess. It's pretty short. Yeah, Sabris, would you like to read the English one? You can see the screen here.
Is it the number 30? Start from 30, is it?
Yeah, it's on the screen too, if you would like to see.
No, I got it from, yeah.
Okay, sure.
In 5 ways, should a wife has the Western direction be respected by the husband? By honoring, not disrespecting, being faithful, sharing authority, and by giving gift. And the wife, so respected, replicate with compassion in 5 ways: by being well organized, being kindly disposed to the in-law and household workers, being faithful, looking after the household goods, and being skillful and diligent in all duties.
Yeah, so it's pretty clear, right? And the wife so respected reciprocates with compassion in 5 ways: by being well organized, number 1, being kindly disposed to the in-laws and household workers, number 2, being faithful, number 3, looking after the household goods, number 4, and being skillful and diligent in all duties, number 5. Let's go to the part 1. Now, as we know, we learned about husband's responsibilities the other day. Thus, the householder, Panchahi Tanehi Samikena Pachimarisa Bharya Pachupatita. Now, the wife to whom that the husband has been fulfilling his responsibilities should perform 5 responsibilities towards the husband. Now, there's an interesting word here. I think we haven't studied in previous ones. Yeah, there is that word too. You can see this word, anukampan. And I think you could see that word, yeah, in here too, yeah, anukampan. Right? So what is anukampan? Anukampanti, I think I sort of explained to you many times. Anukampanti means not to perform, not to fulfill, but you could take it as fulfillment. What does anukampati mean? See this word? It's a verb. See, like at the end of all responsibilities, Buddha says, not that each person performs responsibility. See? Anukampati. Anukampati means, I'm trying to look at the literal idea, the literal meaning, not the, what you call the figurative one. The figurative one could be perform, fulfill. Anukampati means empathize, empathizes. Right? So it's an interesting idea, right? The Buddha asks people to empathize other person because they do such. Right? Now here, in all responsibilities, we could see here, Antevasinan Anukampat. Even the teachers do that, students do that. Even before that, we could see mother, father do it. See here. Something, yeah. Anukampat. See, Uttara Anukampat. And also parents also do the same thing, right? Anukampat, right? That means empathize. Now, this empathy here means that they perform something. Now, when somebody asks you, are you trying to empathize somebody? You might say yes. But the action with that empathy could be something different, right? You might go help that person, you might go buy food, you might do something, right? But the whole thing is being taken as empathy. So here, even from wife towards husband, you could say Samika. So the wife empathizes husband in 5 ways. Now, empathizes means she particularly performs 5 responsibilities, just like other groups of people here. Number 1, Susang Vihita Kammanta. It's the first response. Susang Vihita Kammanta. Does anybody understand or get familiar with any of these Pali words? Susang Vihita Kammanta. Su Sang Vihita Kammanta. What's the English meaning here? Let's go to that place. By being well organized. But why it is so many? Why it has so many other words? Susang Vihita Kammanta. What is Kammanta? Activities. Activities. How do we find this term? Anybody? Can anybody think about any roots to understand Kammanta? What is Kammanta? What is
Kamma.
Kamma?
Same like
Kamma.
Kamma, is it?
Kamma. This is a secondary derivative in Pali. If you know
Okay.
Pali grammar, yeah. So Kamma is the noun, but then there are derivatives. Secondary, we call tadditas in Pali grammar. Kammanta, right? So when you say Kammanta, that means particular person has particular actions. Kammanta. Now the wife in the house has to well organize her activities at home. Because at that time, house was a housewife, right? In those times of India, right? Susang Vihita means well organized. Susang Vihita. Su means well. Then Kammanta means activities. Susang Vihita Kammanta. Check out. So we are not going to argue, whether wife should be at home or not. It depends. It is a subject that is in argument, probably that is in controversy. I saw recently an article somebody wrote to Daily Mail. Now people can work from house. Probably children need their mother so much, and the only reason that she goes out just for work to make more money. This is more relevant to Western societies because they have to pay rent, they have to pay mortgage, a lot of money. So it's good to work. It's good that both people work. But in Asia, it could be a little different. Even some places it might not be different in high-income countries. But here we understand from that time, at the time of India, it was that the wife takes care of the house pretty well, right? And she takes care of not even the house, but also children. And the people, there were a number of people who were working in a house, because at that time the houses were very extended houses. Even if you go to some Indian houses, some houses have lots of people. Extended houses, very big houses. Many families live in those houses, right? Probably the idea is that the owner of the house, let's say his wife, is going to take care, all these activities very well. Otherwise, there might be some issues, right? Because husband has to go out and then work. I'm talking at that time. So the first responsibility is she has to be well organized with every activity at home, right? That is the responsibility. I think even in a house where both work, I think wife is going to take care of that part, definitely. But in this case, wife seems to be a housewife, and then you can't see a housewife nowadays because people can work online, right? Right? So how do you say that I'm a housewife? Because I work in my room, right? I work, right? So then that idea is, in a bit argumentative level, debatable level. Okay, so number one, the responsibility number one is that wife is going to take care activities very well, or in a very organized. I think we have to discuss this well organized. I think it's an interesting angle aspect of this. I think everybody deals with activities at home, right? You might go take care of your house, you might go clean up your house, keep your house clean and tidy. But what is being well organized? Let's talk a little bit about that. Well organized. We can talk from our modern day life, right? You might not know what happened exactly with the people at that time. What is being well organized? I'm just going to stop the screen sharing for a moment. Here we discuss. Yeah. Any idea about what is being well organized for a wife at home? Angles.
May I say something here?
Yeah,
That means
please go ahead.
a well organized means well planned. You plan the day, what you're gonna do. Let's say if you are going out, you have to. If you have small children, you have to make sure they have food. Like before you go out. I mean, organize yourself rather than haphazard, leave things behind. Don't bother. I just go out and enjoy myself. I don't worry about the children. But for my case, it's different. They're all grown up, so I don't have to take care of them. But I'm saying, like in general, a well-organized mother, if let's say she has to go out with friends and she has to make sure there's somebody around, maybe a helper if there's one, or the mother-in-law, to be around with the children while she's out. To me, I mean, that is well organized.
Yeah, that's really interesting aspects, right? So making sure that people have food till she
Yeah.
comes back home, probably if she goes out,
Yeah.
right? And then making sure that if the house has children, her children or other children, then she's going to make sure that they are safe. What was the last? Kim?
Pardon?
What was the
I
last thing that you wanted?
I said, I mean, if you need to go out for the day, so you have to make sure that the house is well taken care of, not just leave everything behind and go and enjoy yourself. The kind of
Okay.
as
So overall, yes, overall, wife, make sure that house is under control. Right, under control. I mean, there's nothing happening that is beyond, that organized, what do you call? Organized thinking, right?
But in the modern days now, actually, we have like CCTV to monitor, to CCTV. Even we are out, we can still see what's happening.
Monitoring. Okay. Oh wow. Monitoring through CCTV is also kind of being organized. Okay. Yeah.
Like even you have you have elderly in the house, you have to make sure that they are safe. If they happen to be left alone, home alone, but of course they can still move around, just that they are slow and things like that, or they may fall down. So you monitor them with the CCTV.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because we are living in the 21st century with all this technology. Why don't we use them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Any other thoughts about being organized as a wife?
Nowadays, people saying home minister, Bhante. The title is home minister. So you have to take
Title
care.
of what?
The title of the wife is the home minister.
Minister of Home Affairs.
Yes, they have to take care of everything in the house.
Okay, so that includes everything.
Now these days, everything is sharing. We are sharing a lot of responsibility. It's not just left to the wife. Not like those days, like you say, the house has to, the wife has to do the cleaning, the cooking. I think it's no more this kind of thing already. Everything is sharing.
Yeah, but anyways, at the end, there should be a good planned atmosphere at home for everything.
Yeah.
For those who are living at home, for those who are leaving house, for those who might be coming over to the house for activities. and also take care of other things too. Probably now this alludes to a husband who is bringing money to the house, and probably that money thing will be going to the wife, and she's also going to be well organized with that money, because you can't say that just because you earn money you know how to spend it wise, sometimes, right? It's a good skill. Just because you earn money, not many people understand how to spend wise. Now, if you look at many people, some people are making lots of money, but they don't know how to spend. So they are going to be like any other normal person, right? So that's why the Buddha said in many other suttas, maybe we might, I think we haven't studied that part a lot, that spending money is a skill. Might be more difficult than earning money. So the woman at home, if she really understands this, what do you call spending money in a certain proper way, I think that is also a very big skill, and she's going to be very well organized with that. Because at the end of the month, what stands out to be is the money. What comes in, what goes out, right? If there's no somebody who is going to really watch over all that, I think the whole household is going to be a mess, right? You're going to take care of your children, you want to spend money for the food, all going to be in a mess, right? So I think pretty much at the end, it's all about how to be well organized with every activity. On top of that, it's about how to take care of the money that is coming into the household. I think that's more impressive. I'm not saying that the man doesn't know how to spend money. Good men too. But I think a lady could do that better than them, probably. It's, it's like cleaning. It's like cleaning. If you give somebody to clean the house, there could be some difference.
Tadiris, no
Yeah.
offense. I think ladies are better in handling money. I mean, in
There
general,
could be exceptions. Could be exceptions, but overall,
yeah, ladies.
overall.
You know the Jack Ma of the China Jack Ma. He actually likes to employ lady staff than male, because he believes that a lady can handle both, everything. Not men are very ego, very but ladies, they when they work, they really work for the company. It's not their own agenda. But the men, they have hidden agendas. They themselves comes first, even though they are working in a corporate. But when you put a lady on top in a corporate, they think of the company as a whole, not themselves first. They don't put themselves first, just like how they handle the family. I have gone through corporate life, so I know how it works. And I actually agree with Jack Ma. Jack Ma loves the lady staff, more than men.
For those who are watching this conversation online, we have to say that there is a disclaimer. There may be men who can run very well too, right? But so ideas.
That's why I say.
Yeah, no offense to anybody. I mean,
no offense.
People.
It's just a general.
I think overall, yes, overall.
Generally.
General an idea. Otherwise, we are not trying to be so feminist thinking here, because
men are
masculine.
Men are enemy with money.
Okay, let's continue here. So
sorry. I hope this is not being recorded.
We are being watched by many. anyways, so here, being well organized at home has many things involved, not even the activities, but also money that comes into the house at the end. So as the Buddha accepts, wife has a responsibility to take care, and she is supposed to take care of all that to make the household a very comfortable place. As you could see here one more time, I'll show you. Susang Vihita Kamma, right? Yeah, so you can see here. Susang Vihita Kamma. Yeah, Kamanta means activities, and Susang Vihita means that being well organized with all the activities, including money. Then it goes into activities that are involved with the people in the house. Sanghahita Parijana. Actually, in some other books, it says Susanghahita Parijana, but here Sanghahita Parijana. What is Parijana? What is Jana? Jana means, you could see here, Jana means these people. Jana
In-laws.
means in-laws and workers, right? In-laws and household workers. Probably at that time, I would say in-laws, they used to live in the house. They were not living separately with in-laws, right? So now wife is there, she's dealing with all these people. So she needs to go to the English translation here. Time. You can see being kindly disposed to the in-laws and household workers, right? Being kindly disposed. That means, so Sanghahita. Sanghahita means, what is Sanghahita? Serving with kindness, serving the in-laws and workers at home with kindness, right? Kindly disposed to their activities. Sanghahita Parijanat. Okay, that's an interesting point. What is the relationship that most of the wives have with their in-laws at home? Not with her parents, but also with husband's parents. That is a dispute over the course of time, right? So probably they may have different ideas about things. Probably they may sometimes interfere. Probably they may sometimes become very good friends too. I mean, in some families, I could see that some in-laws are really kind to their daughter-in-law, right? So it's pretty rare, I guess.
But it's a two-way.
So it's a two-way thing. But there is a stereotype that we see in society. Is probably some of you might share with us at the end, probably during the time, that there is a clash between in-laws and the daughter-in-law on the basis of the sort of engagement to the husband, right? For different reasons. That is happening across many societies. So, but the Buddha asked daughter-in-laws that you need to always maintain a very kind relationship with them. There may be arguments, there may be different views, but always try to find better ways to solve the problem. There may be issues because we are handling with different people, right? Now in Sri Lanka, if you look at some ways of how people marry, not most relationships are love relationships. People finding arranged marriages and people asking, okay, tell me a little bit about the man and the woman, and then they get into the families. What is the son's father doing? What is his XYZ doing? Why have they left this field, right? Arranged marriages, looking for caste, looking for mother-father occupation, looking for mother, fathers, fields of occupation. The reason is that they know once they marry, these people are going to stay in that house. So thinking how to cooperate with all this, even before this happens. There may be love relationships too, but more than that, people like to look for arranged marriage because of some of the, I guess, stereotypes, and then insecurities, religion issues, I would say some other major issues. So the idea here is that the Buddha knew that this is a problem between the daughter or the wife and her in-laws. So she has to carefully look at how to manage things in a very wise way, right? So that's the idea. But unfortunately, most of the relationships don't seem to work well because the level of patience, the level of understanding could be a little different from many, especially from the parent side of the husband. And probably the parents might be interfering son's life too, in a way that you should tell your wife this and that. She has to be like this. She's supposed to be. Always keep in mind, I am the one who took care of you. I'm the one who brought you up, right? So I think sometimes a little different to draw the line between all this, right? Because they are all greedily attached to different people, right? And the daughter who joins the house from outside is going to be stuck, complicated, right? She doesn't know what to do now because the man that I trusted is not caring and he's always going after parents. And I gave up everything and I came to him, right? So it's a very chaotic situation. And in some families, this can even lead to the worst things, even for a divorce, right? Even for a breakup, right? That is why I think it is really good to look at the in-laws in a certain way, unless you are living in a different country. The cultures are different countries. Any thoughts to share about this? Now, the responsibility number 2 from a wife to husband is that she has to kindly attend to the matters regarding her in-laws and other workers. In the house at that time, there were many workers, right, who work at home, probably cooking stuff, right, probably cleaning the house, right? So she has to always kindly attend to all these people. Right? If she's going to be very unkind, very rude, there will be a lot of troubles happen, right? Because they're also going to react to all these actions. Any thoughts to share? Not blaming any other party, because we are not going to blame anybody. We are trying to look at the nature of the problem, right?
Bhante, I think in Asian culture, they intend to keep their feelings inside. And when there's a disagreement or something that they don't see eye to eye, they just keep inside. And this thing slowly can grow bigger and become one day it will just explode and then arguments happen. So if it can talk openly and without hard feelings, without judgment that the elderly is always right. They also see the point from the in-laws, that the daughter-in-laws who enter the stranger's house and do not familiar with the circumstances and the law that they're inside some new house, like that. If we can talk from beginning, treat them as a part of family well, open up and talk nicely, heart to heart, then most of the disagreement can be avoided.
Yeah, so Aliana is bringing up the communication part, right? I think it's very interesting. Yeah, but the problem here is that not many people like talking things out, right? They always want to go in a reverse way, right? I don't want to talk to that person. I don't want to solve this because they are trying to, cherry pick some of the smaller minor issues of the other party, especially if you take it from the in-laws, if you take it from the wife's side. I think communication, a good, clear, active communication is the only answer, because we have to understand we are all different. If somebody is going to say that we should be all doing the same thing, that is a very wrong idea. Now, even when I teach anybody, even them, I'm not expecting that you have to come to a certain level, just like any other devotees. It shouldn't happen. It won't happen. It shouldn't happen, because they come from different backgrounds, and the way how they understand it different, and their retention, their memory is also different. Their natural habits are different also, right? So I think if people in this household understand the diversity of different people at home, while respecting the diversity, they can have an open communication, not a closed communication, right? That is one thing. But unfortunately, now the wife role is something that they all expect, but she has no help from any of them other than the husband. Because if you go to a house, she's the only person who came from outside, right? I'm thinking that her mother, father don't live with her in this case, right? So very good communication is the key to many problems, even in our life, right? Some people even don't want to talk, right? Right? When you talk to those people, they hang up the phone sometimes, right? They might say they don't want to talk, right? So
Right
I
speech.
think a good communication is the most helpful key to those issues at home, especially between wife and in-laws and other workers. Kim, you have anything to say?
So is that the right speech? That means the right speech, right view. This is part of it. Right speech.
We could call it a part of the right speech is a very noble concept. I mean, if you want to practice right speech, we have to go a little beyond that. But it is a part of right speech, because as a layperson, you are supposed not to. You are not supposed to lie. You are not supposed to talk behind the back. You are not supposed to say any bad words to anybody. You are not supposed to gossip. But I think as lay people, you might gossip. When your friends get together, definitely you gossip. But I'm not saying it's bad. But if you want to attain Sotapanna, you have to reduce your level of gossiping. So that's what I'm thinking. Yes, it's a part of right speech. But minimally speaking, I would say, we have to be people who are very open-minded, especially when we want to talk things out with other folks, especially with our loved ones. Otherwise, if we keep hiding what we want to talk, and the other person also thinking
Don't know what you're
bad
thinking.
about us,
Yeah.
don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know what they are thinking.
Yeah.
And then we are always in arguments and clashes.
Transparent.
No. Yeah, sometimes depending on the matter, we may not be able to fully transfer. At least to have a discussion is very. Because when we talk, then we will understand this was not what really happened. Sadhana, any thoughts from you? These are not the Home Minister's activities too, right? We have to go beyond that. Beyond the Home Minister, right?
No, but if you ask me, I come across a few, even before they get married, they've been instigated. Don't allow the mother-in-law to control you and all that. So that's where most of the cases where they get married, even before they start to, understand each other or get along with each other, their mind been instigated by others already. So that's a sad part, that these people who listen to it, and create the problem beforehand.
Great, that's a good point too.
Because we have to be strong to understand the reality, not just simply because somebody tell you beforehand, be careful, you married to their family, the mother, don't allow her to control you, and this and that. I heard a couple of it. So I feel I've stopped them and tell them, no, that's not the way it should be, Let them, let them handle themselves. But because of this, the woman go to the family with a cautious thinking, and that's where problem can happen.
Great.
Yes, brother, I cannot deny that some is like that. Yes, brother. Some they come in with the different thinking, not come into the family as a part of the family, but they come into they try to control. Yeah, some is like that. I cannot deny. Yes, there are cases like that. Yes,
Because of insecurities, right?
Yeah, but
insecurities.
insecurity is okay, but the friends should keep their mouth shut, should not interfere in this matter, because they are getting married. Let the woman decide for herself. Let the man decide for themselves how to get along with the family and this and that. But instead of that, they instigate first, because they get bad experience from in-laws, so they instigate the others to be watchful. So this woman, even though she's genuine good, but with the instigation, her mind been played. In the end, she also will rebel, and problems happen.
Yeah. So on one side is a communication issue. On the other hand, I think the in-laws sometimes don't like to empower their children, right? To make decisions for them, right? They have to let them decide, right? But probably they might think that we are more wise, we are wiser than them to give some instructions about the life, right? So anyways, so we have to look at this thing, especially if you are a wife, you have to look at it from a very careful, kind, patient perspective, right? Because we can't change people, only we can change the attitudes and then the actions, right? Right. So that's really interesting. That's the second responsibility. Let's go into the third one. The third responsibility says in Pali, Anaticharini. Anaticharini. What is charini? Now here charini means this alludes to being in the company with somebody. Now, especially now, of course, wife is supposed to be with a wife. Anaticharini means that she's not. Here you can see being faithful, being loyal, or being faithful. Now the commentary, it says that Anaticharini means that wife does not even think about another man, even with a thought. This might be this might be a different thinking in today's world, but she is not even thinking another man, even with a thought. So then this should also reciprocate to the husband too, right? Right. So that is a really interesting point, because I think that could be the bedrock element of the marriage. Like, people can talk different things, right? Dhamma folks, also you need to think about that. Although Buddhism talks about an ideal marriage, now this is an ideal marriage, right? It also talks about the other folks who cannot be in an ideal marriage. Right? In today's world, there are partners, there are other relationships, but here Buddha is really dealing with an ideal marriage. In an ideal marriage, right? Then both parties have to think only them. This is what the Buddha understood. This is what the Buddha suggested. This is really good, because on that is everything else is set upon. That's the third responsibility. I don't think there are any questions to that, because it's a very clear responsibility. Let's go to the fourth one. Sambhatancha anurakati. Sambhatancha Anurakati. He said, looking after the household goods. Now, sambata sometimes means at that time, lots of people, they were involved in agriculture. Okay, sambata, right? Sambatancha. Let's say agricultural goods, I would say rice, other, crops, right? Now, in today's modern world, how do we take this? Sambatancha. All the household goods, right? Whatever the household goods that probably the inventory. I think definitely every house has an inventory, right? Is it correct? Yes, every house has an inventory, spices, food, other things, right? Could be electronic gadgets, everything, right? So she's going to take care of all that because she's not somebody who is what do you call, destroying, who is not making wise use of them, right? Sambatancha Anurakkanti. If you go to the Pali meaning of this, Sambatancha means things that have been accumulated at home or in the household. Anurakkanti. What is Rakkanti? Rakkati means protect. Anurakkanti means protect according to their needs, right? Now, in other words, I could say there may be a husband who is bringing lots of good things to the house, but the wife doesn't know how to take care of those. Maybe use them wise, right? There are a lot of, I would say, maintenance issues coming up because she doesn't know how to use them, she doesn't know how to take care of them, right? Probably she's going to waste all of them, right? According to that time. If you take it from a modern perspective, she knows how to take care of the inventory of the house, how to make the wise use of all these things, right? Because we have heard that there are a lot of blames coming from husband that you broke it, right? You broke this gadget and then you broke this, you wasted all that which I brought home, right? This happened because of that inventory issue, that problem, right? Now in a modern perspective, wife is also bringing stuff over to the house, so then husband should also have to take care of that, then, right? Vice versa. But from a wife's perspective, she has a role to play here. Any thoughts? Lim, are you with us? I think that you are in a car. You want to join about this fourth responsibility?
Yes. Oh, so far I'm listening. Yeah.
Have you brought lots of gadgets, lots of stuff into house?
Yeah.
Your kids are behind you. Yeah. Okay. Any thoughts, other folks? How to see this fourth responsibility? No thoughts yet. We'll then go to the fifth one, and then if we have more, we can discuss after that. The fifth responsibility is interesting. It has a couple words. Dakkacha hoti analasa sabba kitches. This is one responsibility, and the fifth one. What is sabba kitches? Kitcha means activity. You see here, duty, being skillful and diligent in all duties. Kitchesu means duties. Sabba means all duties. What is regarding all duties here? Wife has to be dakka. Dakka means skillful, and analasa means diligent in all duties, right? So that means she has a role to play with her skillfulness and then her diligence in terms of household activities. Now, you remember that the first responsibility was to be organized, well organized, right? you could be well organized, but if you are not skillful and if you are lazy, then you can't continue your being organized nature, right? There are some people who are very organized, but they don't know how to maintain that nature, how to be consistent, right? That is interesting, because if we don't stay consistent, especially from a wife perspective, then it is not going to really work for the household. Dakkacha bhavati analasa sabda. So wife is supposed to be skilled and diligent in all duties. So is it only a wife responsibility? No, it is also responsibility of the husband too. How to be skillful and then not lazy. But it was particularly given because when you are living only in a house, when somebody is at home, let's say from wife's perspective, there is some likelihood of being lazy because you are in your comfort zone, right? Right? When you're at home, that is your comfort zone. So you might feel a little lazy being at home, right? So that is why it was specifically given to the wife that she really needs to be skillful or skilled and then diligent, not being lazy. Okay, so these are the 5 responsibilities. So any thoughts, any comments about the last 2? Bella, are you with us? Okay, so if anybody wants to add anything or have a question about all these 5, Bella, are you going to say something to us?
Oh, sorry, because I still at the same time as I listen to what you discussed about, also have to look after my mom.
Yeah, I heard that before. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. You understand? Yeah, okay.
Bella, how old is your mother? Sorry.
Oh, my mom, she is fine, but because of her age, now she over 90. Then it's like we have to take care of her, feed her food, everything. She cannot help, do by herself.
This is part of the duty.
Yes.
We wish her longevity, Bella. Yeah, Kim, you have anything to say?
Oh, no, not exactly like what you said.
About the 5 responsibilities, and because from next week we're going to be discussing about the friends and colleagues. It's going to be more interesting. Friends, you are a friend and you're looking at your colleagues and friends.
Hello, brother.
Bhante, in modern world now, these duties mostly done by the couples together. They are sharing the responsibilities together. Yes.
By the both. Yeah.
So very
Yeah, Tihan, how are you? You have any thoughts to add?
Yeah, fine, Bhante. Sorry, I was busy for this. As I late joined. Yeah, hope to come Malaysia this month, first week.
Okay. Going back to Malaysia. Okay. Great. I think these responsible, both the husband's one and the wife one, they are both done by the both parties. At the same time, some of the duties, I would say responsibilities, have been overlooked by them too in a certain way because of the trends that are being happen in the modern world, right? Now, about if you take the loyalty thing, loyalty is being viewed very differently in today's world. In opposite to what you call the trust and the faith. If you look at some other societies, they look at it a little differently. Now the question is that there are people who are not married, so they're probably living in a common law relationship. So I mean, how do these things work for them? That is one question, right? Probably there may be partners who are not in a common law. They might be differently involved with that. Single people, right? So how do these things relate to those people? So it depends on the time, place, culture, and the possibility of all these responsibilities differently. And we have an idea that these were given to 6 BCE people. But still there are things to learn. You can't just put them to the waste basket, right? Because there are things to learn, because the elements are very interesting, very clear in today's world. Yeah, any thoughts?
Yes, Bhante, I think the number 3 one is the most important. From the 5, number 3 is the most important. I see most marriages.
Number 3 is very, that is
most
that is
marriages
the most
break up,
important.
because of this.
Yeah.
The
That's
other things,
very interesting.
they still can be tolerated, can be discussed, but this number 3, the number 3 one is, I saw many.
And also, Aliana, the other thing is that sometimes some people might view it not as very important in today's world. That is also a question. We might say it's a global current trend. Why should I? Right? So rather taking it as a trend from a Buddhist point of view, we look at it as a problem, because you love only one person, you take care of that particular person, and that is the element of everything else, right? There may be issues, there may be problems surrounding that, but still that is the idea. So, loyalty, right? And I think there are many ways of cheating coming up against the time that you were in the last many years. If you look at 80s, 70s, 50s, 40s, or 900 or 18th century, like people cheated in very visible ways, right? They could find out what's going on. But in today's world, with a phone, like, don't know what's going on. Cheating has been very easier for many people than they were used to. So that's why we have to think about this. Loyalty is such a very important thing. So the people have to pay more attention to the point of loyalty, because it's pretty easy for them to set apart, right? Go apart. Just because you can, just because you could, just because there are people around you to cheat on other folks. But it's not going to work for you, especially for a relationship that we were talking about, right? Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So the third one is interesting. Yeah, Sadis, go ahead. Can you please unmute your mic?
Between the marriage, I think between the marriage is important. It's all common sense, no? Common sense. Because end of the day, the two partners have to discuss all the time where this person go wrong, and if it's not happy, how to balance it. You do this part, I do this part, and talk and correct. And as time goes by, they will get. But provided one party do not be stubborn or just simply refuse, that's where the problem comes. If not, I think it can work with common sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the girl is wiser, he can always teach the man or remind the man guide a man. Same vice versa can be guiding each other. But as long as we are not stubborn or refuse to admit our mistake, it can work. As long as, at the same time, as long as we don't listen to other people's instigation, the two partners can make it.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, interesting. And I think, Sadhris, the other thing is that in these responsibilities, what we see is that the wife plays a kind of submissiveness to the husband in a way. Like there's not, with the current trends, that we see in the society, like because everybody is given lots of power, right? Nobody wants to be under anybody, right? Right? Nobody thinks that I should be under anybody. Just because I'm a woman, just because I'm the wife, just because I'm the husband, I do whatever I want, and she thinks she wants to do whatever she thinks. So I think this, what you call the clash between the submissiveness and the dismissiveness is also a problem. That is where people are not going to be hot-headed, stubborn. They don't want to listen to other people, right? So especially in a marriage, where is this peaceful communication between husband and wife? That peaceful communication arises as a consequence of being respectful, patient, and then she really loves the man or he really loves the woman, right? So I think when these are jeopardized, when these are at risk, nothing is going to work out. Rather than I go my way, you go on your own, right? Just live for the children, right? I think because of the social trends that are being happened the last many decades, things have changed to many people, especially in the West. It's coming towards the East too, about that I'm not going to be under anybody. So it's like the issue with the submissiveness or dismissiveness. But still, loyalty is a very, very big point, right? It's not a point that you're going to be submissive to anybody, right? It's your precious sacrifice towards somebody, right? I think that is really interesting, even from the husband side, even from the wife side. Let's say somebody cheats on the other. How are the other responsibilities going to work here? In-laws, house people, right? Nothing is going to work at that point, right? I think sometimes. Yeah, go ahead, Sadhris.
I think most of the time, if either party is grateful of what's happening between the relationship, most of the problem can be solved.
Very great. That is a place to continue the discussion, continue the issues that they have, right? Solving part, yes.
Because if you think back, there are some people who got no chance to get married. Now we are married, we have a happy family. Why spoil it? Why all this wise wisdom of thinking and sharing can help each other? But gratefulness plays a big part on it. You must be grateful. The other side also must be grateful too.
Yeah, true. And also, Sadhris, in some countries now the young couples are not liking to marry. Some countries even giving some money, concessions for the apartments for them, like I don't want to mention those countries, XYZ country. They know that they don't have a future generation. Even in Japan, they know that they don't have a future generation. They don't have people to pay the tax. In Canada, they have a big problem. There are no people to pay tax because many people are going to retire in the next couple of 10 years. Nobody's going to pay tax because the generation is at a problem, right? I think there is a tendency that not many young people going to marry. Probably they are thinking, I can't spend money for this. I can't have a budget for this. I can't take this many responsibilities, right? So Buddha was talking to people who were married here and then who were expecting how to go ahead with the peaceful, good marriage life. So that's why he mentioned all that.
Well, but then again, why I mention the word grateful is a lot of couples which I know, they are social climber, you know. You understand what is social climber? They come from a very bad position. Then when they get to get married and all that, they start becoming the ego and the head becoming swell and start talking very differently. That's where problem comes.
Mhm. Yeah, true. I think gratefulness is the
It's very important.
basis of the loyalty too, of the good marriage. Okay, any more comments? If not, we're going to transfer the marriage. So today we finished the responsibilities between husband and wife. So we discussed husband responsibilities the week before last week, and then we discussed wife responsibilities today. And nobody should be misunderstood that these should be formed in the same way how the Buddha explained, because the society is different. We respect anicca, impermanence, because everything is changing all the time. So our role has to depend on the certain changes, dynamics that are happening even now. And then according to the situations, we have to play our role, not like the same thing that happened at that time, right? That's the most interesting thing. So, but there are still guidelines so that we can understand how to practice in your case, as a wife, as a husband. There are avenues, roadmaps that the Buddha said you could still consider these areas, especially the third one, right? Loyalty part. That is a very big thing, right? Just because you could cheat on other person, you're not gonna do that. That's a big thing in my life. It's my sacrifice, right? Okay, so by leaving this understanding that from next week, we're going to be doing the next relationship, I would say responsibility cluster between friends and colleagues. If you want to be a good friend, so what are the responsibilities that you are supposed to have for other colleagues? If you are a colleague, then what are the responsibilities you are supposed to have for the friend? With that in mind, let's go to the transference of merits. May all the good karmas which we have been accumulating in today's sutta discussion be transferred to all the departed relatives who passed away in the name of all of us. May our departed parents, family members, other relatives in this life and previous lives be able to receive all these good karmas. If our departed relatives, Nyatis, were reborn in a painful state, Naraka, Ti-Ratana, Pretasura, may they be able to get rid of all those painful states, realms of lives by receiving all this good karma. If they were already reborn in a better place, may they be able to listen to all these Dhamma things and then practice more Dhamma, improve their lives, and finally attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, 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 sadhu. We'll recite the stanzas. Idam me yati nang hotu sukita huntu yate. Idam me yati nang hotu sukita huntu yate. Idam me yati nang hotu sukita huntu yate. May all the good karmas be received and shared by all the devas, nagas, and all the mahikas. As we know, devas means deities, nagas means serpents, snakes. They are not physical snakes, other species of beings. And then mahikas means all the majestic other beings, invisible beings. May all these devas, nagas, mahikas receive all these good karmas, and then we be well and happy, and they protect and bless all of us, all the monks, and all of you, your family members, your households, everything for good health, quality of life, and all the prosperity. May you be protected by them all the time. Wherever you go, whatever you do in your all activities, may they always be with you. And finally, May Deva Naga Mahindika also attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavatacha ammihi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anudantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammihi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavatacha ammihi Sambhatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu lokasasanam. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahindika Punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu desanam. Akasattha cha bhummatta devanaga mahindika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakkhantu mang paranti chirang rakkhantu tvang sadati. Also, we have a wish. May we be always in the company of the Kalyana Mitra's noble friends and not with the Papa bad friends who are not helping us to understand the Four Noble Truths. Thinking thus, we're going to make this wish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagam satang samagam yavanimbana panteya. Finally, may all the good karmas which we have been accumulating in all these ways be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of it. Sadhu, sadhu. I'm going to bless you with a couple more stanzas. Please receive the blessing. Abhivadana siris nichang vandha pachayini chattaru dhamma baddhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayura rogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samayunjati. By the noble power of the Buddha Dhamma Sangha, may all your fears go away, may all your sicknesses go away, all your sufferings go away. May you all be peaceful, safe, and comfortable. With that, I'm going to wish you have a good night. And then I'm going to see you in February, second month of the year. 1 month has passed. Time is flying. Thank you, Liam. You're on the way. Thank you, everybody, wherever you are. I hope that you take care.
Thank you,
Thank you. Thank you, Bhante. Good
Wishing
night.
very much,
longevity
Bhante.
to
Good
your
night,
mother too,
Bhante.
Bella. Okay.
Thank you very much, Bhante. Good night, everyone, brother and sister. Good night, Bhante.
Good night, brothers,
Thank you.
sisters. Thank you, Bhante.
I'm going.
Thank you, Bhante. Good night.
Bhante.
Good night, sister, brother.
See you next week.
See you. I'm going to end the live stream.
Okay,
And
good night.
good night.